SEE, ESFP, FR, politician, ambassador, Caesar, or archetype Napoleon I, Jung. Extroverted, sensing, ethical, irrational. Reinen. Static, obstinate, democratic, strategic, emotivist, farsighted, serious, decisive, positivist, process, asking. Velenko. Romance style aggressive, communication style passionate, forms of thinking, causal determinist cognition. Groups. Gamma Quadra, SF Socials, EP Temperament, extroverted. He focuses on the outer world. He manipulates real objects, feelings, emotions, and sensations, rather than delves into a world of imagination. Sensing. He is emphasizing concrete, tangible details that can be directly experienced, making him more realistic and down to earth. More aware of his surroundings and living in the present moment. Pay attention to details rather than the big picture. Ethical. He is more often make decisions based on their own feelings. Prefer persuasion over argumentation. Irrational. He absorbs information without evaluating it or applying it to his own experience. Wait and see or make a rasher decision. Stress. Tolerance is high. Unpredictability and spontaneity. Serious. They poorly recognize common emotional background. They have an objectively known facts, rules, and laws. Based on general, common, experience, they consider someone else's opinion, after comparing it with the real facts. Decisive. Natural state is readiness. Normally he is mobilized. When the work is done, finds it hard to relax without a ritual. Democratic. He perceives and refers to other people, and himself, primarily describing individual, personal qualities, frank, trustworthy, generous, unimaginative, light-hearted, good-looking, etc. Obstinate. Ideas are personal, but resources are freely shared and manipulated. It's hard to change his mind. Farsighted. He is inclined to solve problems by primarily using that information which he possessed through knowledge and experience. Process. He does things sequentially, from the beginning to the end. Immersed to a process and inclined to single tasking. Static. He perceives events in a discrete states rather than continuous changes. Strategic. He focuses on goals, and manipulates them, with methods unsettled. Emotivist. He tends to concentrate foremost on the emotional background of interaction, with business a secondary concern. Positivist. First, he notices the positives, he tends to optimize, polish, and improve already existing things, systems, or processes. Socially and intellectually more trusting. Asking. Typically, he speaks in questions. Prefers dialogues to monologues. Tends to use short remarks, because they are more interested in hearing the other person than self-expression. EP Temperament. Energetic, flexible, mobile, impulsive. Seems optimistic and open-minded. Entertains people easily and natural. SF Socials. Their interactions are likely to be based on enjoying conversations about their families and personal relationships, artistic and sensory interests such as cooking, gossip, and group social activities such as parties, dancing, excursions, and sports activities. It is the stereotypical women's group, although these clubs, which are made up only of men, also exist, with common activities and interests. Gamma Quadra. Serious, decisive, and democratic, they prioritize the long term over the short term in terms of efficiency and profitability. Similarly, they tend to focus on the broader consequences of decisions rather than just those affecting themselves, giving them a proclivity for self-sacrifice. They take a tougher stance on ethical principles and the punishment, even vengeance, of those who violate them. They place a premium on personal loyalty. Communication style passionate. They are the most confident in their attitudes towards others, and is not afraid to show their feelings in public, and talk about them in ethical assessments. These sociotypes are the most social in informal communication. Romance style aggressive. He has no doubts about own interest in another person. He is not prone to hesitation reveal that interest. Forms of thinking, causal determinist cognition. It is analytic, positive, and deductive. The mental process consists in constructing chains of cause and effect, reducing explanations to deterministic mechanisms. SEE Model A. SE Program. Ego Mental Valuable Inert Verbal Acceptable Strong 4D. FI Creative Zone. Ego Mental Valuable Contact Productive Verbal Strong 3D. NE Role. Super Ego Mental Non-Valuable Weak Contact Acceptable Nonverbal 2D. TI Trouble Zone. Super Ego Mental Non-Valuable Weak Inert Productive Nonverbal 1D. NI Suggestive. Super ID Vital Valuable Weak Contact Acceptable Verbal 1D. TE Activating. Super ID Vital Valuable Weak Inert Productive Verbal 2D. SI Ignoring. ID Vital Non-Valuable Strong Inert Acceptable Nonverbal 3D. FE Standard Area. ID Vital Non-Valuable Strong Contact Productive Nonverbal 4D. SAY Program. He can organize people, move them around as needed, and guide them toward a common goal. He values others' obedience and subservience because it allows him to make things happen more effectively. They are acutely aware of territorial disputes and confrontational behavior taking place around them. FI Creative Zone. He is very adept at perceiving, establishing, and maintaining personal bonds between people. These bonds are often perceived as being situational and flexible rather than static. If the person's mood or external situation changes, he may turn off the feelings instantly. NE Role. He has doubts about the motives, intentions, and abilities of others. He tends to be skeptical of any unexpected or novel behavior or developments. He is especially irritated when people are late for unknown reasons, and act in other independent and unpredictable ways. T Trouble Zone. He tends to reject or embrace a source of theoretical knowledge, but does not like to reveal the source or his adherence to it. He is reluctant to publicize new opinions until he is sure that they are right, and can support them thoroughly to anyone who challenges him. NE Suggestive. He is drawn to people who are confident in their ability to assess where current trends are heading, and choose the best time to act. The individual is impulsive, but he is also wary of going too far in his impulsiveness because he is unsure of his own ability. TE Activating. He is keen on accumulating factual knowledge on subjects of personal interest, and those that help him be more efficient and productive, but he is often unsure of his ability to find and select the correct information, and is therefore attracted to people whom he sees as competent in that area and reassure him. C Ignoring. He prioritizes the external act of encountering and interacting with the world. Exploration of sensations, according to these types, should be done privately and on one's own time. People should be ready to interact, get involved, and command situations in public without having to weigh. FE Standard Area. He appreciates situations where people are enjoying a positive emotional atmosphere as in having fun and joking together, and is quite adept at creating them himself, but does not see creating or promoting them a top priority, nor does he actively look for people who maintain or need such an atmosphere. Too high a focus on that is seen by him. SEE Intertype Relationships. Dual ILI, Identical SEE, Activator LIE, Mirror ESI, Semi-Dual IEI, Kindred SLE, Benefactor EIE, Supervisor LSI, Extinguishment SEI, Superego ILE, Quasi-Identical ESE, Conflictor LII, Mirage SLI, Business IEE, Beneficiary LSE, Supervise EII.